The following podcast contains movie spoilers and mature content, including graphic descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Opening Kill, the podcast that dives deep into the chilling world of horror films. Every Thursday, we explore a different movie, from cult classics to modern masterpieces, uncovering behind-the-scenes secrets, analyzing themes, and sharing fun facts about your favorite horror films. Join us as we chat with filmmakers and fellow horror film fans to celebrate the fear in cinema. And now, the hosts of Opening Kill, Michael Doran and Brian O'Connor.
Brian O'Connor, how goes it?
I am trying to get over this cold, damn it.
Dude, I've been struggling a little bit lately as well. I got sick over Easter. My whole family did, puking our guts out. It was awesome. But then just like, not a sick way, but allergies have been kicking my ass this week.
Same.
There's something in my backyard that just, I step outside to like breathe in some fresh air and I'm instantly just sneezing.
Allergy season around our area has been really bad so far this spring.
Yeah, and it's like just getting started. So I'm like, yay. Can't wait to take on the pollen all summer long.
Usually dies down for me around June, so hopefully. But this was a cold that came on. I have been more sick this year than I think I've been sick ever. You know, it's been a bad year.
It's been a horrible year, especially for me. I feel like just constantly.
Yeah.
There's always something new
rolling
through my house.
I was going to say, you've got two wee ones.
So
they get sick.
They bring it all, every possible little bug they can catch. They grab it and bring it home to dad.
That's right. That's right. Well, welcome to Opening Kill, the podcast that is all things horror. We take a movie each week, a classic, a new one, or something in between, and break it down for you. This week, Ready or Not from 2019.
Oh, what a film.
What a film.
What a motion picture, Brian.
I remember seeing this in the theater, and I watched it again this past week, forgotten just how much fun, horror, you know.
Yeah, this is just one where you're like, have a good time, enjoy the ridiculousness of it, and just roll with the crazy punches it's pulling. It's wild.
Speaking of that, I stumbled upon a franchise, and we were talking a little while ago how sometimes you just miss movies.
Yeah.
We both of us have seen so many movies. Occasionally, a movie or a franchise slips by you, and I just discovered Hatchet.
Oh,
Talking about fun.
A great motion picture.
Oh, my God. I cannot believe that I missed this. There's 4 movies. I watched the first 2 with some friends, and I'm going to watch the third one here soon. But this is great. It's about a group of tourists in New Orleans. They take a haunted swamp tour during Mardi Gras. Their boat crashes, stranding them in a desolate bayou, and they discover the area is haunted by the vengeful spirit of Victor Crowley, a horribly disfigured man who was accidentally killed with a hatchet by his own father. And this is really such a great throwback to 80s horror films, slasher films. It's just packed with, just some really fun practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
Really dark humor and just a love for old school horror tropes.
It's a love letter for sure.
It is.
It's just updated with because the gore effects in here are nuts.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I saw things in that movie that I have never seen in horror films.
Oh, yeah,
before,
no. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that far ahead of you. I binged all of them in like a week's time, just like late last year.
Okay.
So I'm not like way ahead of you with discovering Hatchet. But when I discovered it, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I know.
I need to watch all of them.
Yes. So I got to binge the other 2, and I'll do that. Maybe this weekend I'll do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember like which one I liked better, Hatchet 1 or 2. And I'm like, they're just both so good.
They're so good. I prefer 2 because Tony Todd had more of a presence.
That's true.
He was kind of just here and there, and gone in the first one. In the second one, he played a major role in it.
Yeah, he does. And it also has Danielle Harris in the second one,
who replaced the original actress. Yeah,
even though it takes place like the same night, I think.
So I was watching the behind the scenes, the making of that they did, and I think it was their cinematographer or somebody who said, the second one starts right after the last frame of the first one. There's the first frame of the second one. It's, could have made it one long movie, but she looks like the original actress, Danielle Harris.
It's not distracting.
And she's good.
Yeah, she's always great.
Solid. So
yeah.
I don't know what the story was with the original actress. Haven't heard a whole lot about it.
I mean, maybe there was nothing. They just had a little bit of extra money. They're like, well, let's just go get Danielle Harris.
Maybe.
I mean, I'd believe it.
I'd do it.
Yeah, right.
Have another name on the cast.
Yeah, because they all who plays Victor Crowley is also a big guy, Kane Hodder.
Yes,
who's one of the many Jasons. The biggest one, I feel like. The one that people like the most.
Yeah, the more well known.
Yeah. So he's got quite the little big, bulky, evil killer character resume under his belt.
And Tom Holland played the uncle in the second one. Tom Holland wrote and directed Fright Night in 1985.
Oh, okay.
So
there are a lot of little roles of people that in the horror community kind of just like show up a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's a great little franchise, and I'm glad you're watching it.
Yep.
We were just gushing about your movie. I'm about to shit on mine. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's called Circus of the Dead from 2014, and the only reason I had even heard of this was because it has a killer clown, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, you thought Art the Clown was bad? Wait till you get a load of Papa Corn. I'm like, okay.
Papa Corn?
Papa Corn's his name. And I'm like, okay, bet, let's check it out. I hate this thing.
Oh, God.
It's just gross and grimy. It reminds me of like if The Devil's Rejects from Rob Zombie was just like shitty in what it did, like just awfully made and just ugh. That's this movie. So like because like with Devil's Rejects, there's a lot of ickiness in it.
Yeah.
But like it's done well enough to where it's, I wouldn't say enjoyable, but like overall the film is like, okay, that was solid. This is just like you're just left in like the icky muck of it. You're like gross. It's just a very, very gross movie. And just I don't know what I just don't understand what they were trying to do. I hate it. I thoroughly hate it. I gave it half a star. I would have given it nothing.
Oh, God.
If I believed in giving a movie 0 stars, I would have given this one.
You got to give it a half star.
I do.
Because they actually got it made.
Exactly.
But that's the only reason.
It. They completed filming, and so there's that half star from me.
It's interesting because it is on my watch list in one of the streamers, but I may have to rethink that now.
It's kind of crazy because like I was looking at the Letterboxd reviews. I mean, it's averaging a 2.9, but that's not bad
not great.
for like a horror movie.
For a horror movie, yeah, that's
and usually
true.
I'm not scared by a 2.9. I'm like, I'll probably love it.
Right.
But this one, I'm like, ugh, no, thank you.
So no Circus of the Dead.
No, sir. I'm not going to go back to that circus. Jeez. I'm gonna just leave it in my rear view.
Well, filming is officially underway for Ready or Not, Here I Come, which is the sequel
God, I
to
love
the
that
movie.
title.
Yeah, to the movie we're doing tonight. Today, whenever we are, I don't even know what time it is. I've been sick all week. Anyway, it's from returning directors Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. New video released Monday unveiled the film's stacked cast, headlined by the return of Samara Weaving. Joining her in this chaos, Catherine Newton.
Love her.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Love her.
Who else is Elijah Wood is in this as well.
Yep.
And many others here. The script comes from the original Ready or Not scribes, Guy Busick and R. Christopher Murphy. And the sequel, once again, backed by Searchlight Pictures. No release date yet, but filming is underway. I can't wait. And I'm curious.
Yeah. I'm curious how our friend Grace finds herself in another situation like this.
Yeah.
But the casting seems so perfect, especially Elijah Wood and Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, I hope they do a similar thing where it's this rich asshole family, because those two, can you imagine them?
Oh my God.
They're going to do so well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's going to be incredible. And the writing, all the team returning. So I have all the faith that this is going to be probably one of my favorites of next year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yeah.
So my little bit of news that I'm excited about is another franchise that we love. I Know What You Did Last Summer. They just dropped the trailer for the upcoming requel, reboot, whatever it is you want to call it.
Right.
But the tone of this thing, I think they nailed it. They nailed it. It looks like it's definitely going to be more gory, which is to be expected in an updated a series. But the returning casts, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt, they show up in the trailer, and it looks like they're using them in the most ideal way possible.
Yeah.
Kind of just those like, oh, this happened to you back in the day. Do you have any advice kind of thing?
And they did that with Scream.
They did.
And I liked that. It worked really well.
I think that's the way to do it, because I'm like, we don't want to watch the same cast do the same thing over again. We want a new cast that we can learn to love, but having that old presence from the originals, I think, is just a nice way to guide it along.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think you should definitely check it out if you haven't yet, and I'm excited for this thing.
I didn't even know, like I said, I've been kind of out of commission this week. My voice is still not all the way back yet, but you texted me to tell me it was out because I didn't even know the trailer was out. And I'm like, oh, dude, I got to go check this out. And yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
It was awesome. All right, so this week it is Ready or Not from 2019, Just the Facts, written by Guy Busick, who also wrote Scream from 2022 and Scream 6, Abigail, and Final Destination Bloodlines. It was directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. Stars Samara Weaving, Adam Brody, Mark O'Brien, Andy McDowell, who is fantastic in this, and Melanie Scrofano. And released August 21st of 2019, made over $57 million on a budget of $6 million. Filming started October 15th in 2018 and concluded just about a month later on November 19th. So they did this quick, and it was shot in the Toronto area with a runtime of 95 minutes.
All right. Yeah, the team behind this, the writers and the directing duo, they go by the name of Radio Silence, which I just think is it's a badass name.
Yeah.
I love it.
Definitely.
And they got a lot of great stuff under their belts.
They do. They really do.
Like, even though the Scream 5 wasn't my favorite, I'm like, it's still pretty darn good.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're talented group.
So if you've not seen the movie, quick summary for you. This is a dark horror comedy. There's definitely some comedy in this. It's about a woman named Grace. She's a newlywed. She marries into this uber wealthy and eccentric family, the Ladomas family. And they are known for their fortune that they made in board games, which I love.
I do love that.
I love board games. What a great concept.
Right.
On her wedding night, Grace is told that she has to play a game as part of a family tradition. She draws the hide and seek card, which turns out to be a deadly version where the family must hunt and kill her before dawn in order to prevent a supposed demonic curse from killing them instead.
Yeah, lots going on in this one.
There is.
It's chaotic. But like you said, I do love that they've built their fortune on board games, because before kids, Hannah and I, we played board games all the time. We love a good old-fashioned board game in session.
Yep.
But, yeah.
Absolutely. So it actually starts with a flashback.
Yeah, back in 1989 inside the Ladomas mansion, which is played by two mansions. One of the mansions is actually the one used in Billy Madison. And then the other one that was also used is Xavier's School for Gifted Children in the X-Men movies. So, yeah, this house got a nice little resume on what it's been portrayed by. But yeah, so in the mansion, siblings Daniel and Alex are running around while being followed by a man. Daniel hides Alex in a closet before he is approached by the man.
Who is all bloodied up.
Yeah, that's Charles, who is the new husband of the boy's Aunt Helene. And Charles is just like, help me, help me, help me, help me. And they don't. They do not help him. And I think we got a little thing to play here.
We do.
The opening kill.
Yeah, no time wasted there.
No, 3 minutes in, and Charles, he's been shot with an arrow, it looks like.
Either from a bow or a crossbow.
And so, yeah, he's bloody. He's not dead.
Not dead yet.
Pleading for his life.
Yeah, so he gets hit. I think it gets hit by 2 arrows or bolts, and then he gets kind of just drug off by the family off screen. And you do see Helene looking just kind of sad, so she knows what's going to happen to him. And he does end up dying, and this is kind of sad to say, because I feel like the rest of the kills in this thing are pretty great. This one's a butter knife from me.
Butter knife too, because you don't see it first of all.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to it, and nothing wrong with being a butter knife.
You'll just never match up to being a butcher knife, and that's fine.
That's fine.
Not every kill can be a butcher knife.
That's right.
Because otherwise we wouldn't have the system.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. So we flash forward 30 years now, present day, and Grace marries into this madness of the Ladoma family.
God.
She's very sweet. She's very kind-hearted. She is marrying Alex Ladomas, who is one of the boys from the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
And he's a reluctant heir to this bizarre board game dynasty. They're very quirky.
They are. And it's not just board games. It's like they expanded into sporting goods, like even like professional sports teams. Like this family's done it all.
Right, right. And they're getting married here at the estate.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Tony and Becky. Those are Alex's parents. And we have Daniel, Alex's alcoholic older brother.
Played by Adam Brody.
Yep. Charity, who is Daniel's very cold and kind of materialistic wife.
Mm-hmm.
Fitch and Amelia. Now, Amelia is Alex and Daniel's dopey sister, and Fitch is her clueless husband. And I love these characters.
They're great.
They're definitely a big part of the comedy relief in this film.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have Aunt Helene, who is, just very stern, very fanatical, and obsessed with family traditions.
Yeah, she's a lot. Her face, like, she looks like a mixture of Grumpy Cat and the Trolls doll, especially when she's just like mean mugging Grace during like the photo shoot for the wedding.
Right.
And the whole family's just being so rude, except for Daniel. He's and the mom. Becky. Yeah, Becky's pretty sweet to her as well, because she's like, look, I've been where you're at right now.
Right.
And you just basically got to say, like, fuck them and hold your head up high and boom. So, like, she's got two people who seem to be on her side, but everyone else is just very cold, very rude, and just unpleasant.
Very much so. Alex has been estranged from the family, but he returned, for Grace's sake. So,
yeah, because Grace is grew up in the system.
Yes.
Like she's never had a family to call her own. And so this is a big deal for her. She's like becoming into joining a family and having a family as her own is something that's just very, very important to her.
And despite the weirdness of this family, she's really wanting this and trying to make this work.
Yeah, she's willing to join them, even though they're absolutely psychotic, clearly.
Right.
And her, do you want to touch on her wedding dress?
Oh my God.
I think it is stunning.
Yes.
It is so beautiful.
It really is. And
there's so much detail in this.
The picture we're looking at, she's got a round or a sling of rounds strapped to it from later in the film. But no, it's gorgeous. I mean, you got to remember, we're talking about this family that is worth, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars.
I think they've got to be in the billions.
They could be.
I think
they could be. So they go through with the wedding, and it's a beautiful wedding. And afterwards, Grace is told that all of the new members of the Ladomas family have to play a game on their wedding night. It's a tradition, and it was supposedly started by their benefactor, Mr. LaBelle, who is this very mysterious figure who helped the family pretty much build their entire empire.
Yeah, like the great-great-grandfather or whatever met him on like a ship.
Yeah.
And he kind of like pitched him the idea of what he wanted to do, and he basically just had to pledge allegiance to this guy, and everything just happened for him.
Right. So we have this big discussion. The family gets into this room, and they're having this discussion about Mr. LaBelle. And then the dad brings out this little box.
Yeah.
And it's got cards in it. And Grace has to draw a card to find out what game they're going to play. And so she does, and she's like, kind of taken this only half seriously, as I would.
It'd be hard to take it super seriously, especially since like how it was sprung upon her. Like she was about to like bone her husband, and then they look over and creepy Helene's just in the corner.
That's what happened. Yeah, that was crazy.
Being like, come to the dinner table and whatever.
Yes.
So like, yeah, this whole situation is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's no way I would be anything but just like laughing my ass off about it.
So she draws the card hide and seek. And you can tell this means something because everybody in the room just dead silent, and the looks on their faces are like, oh, God.
Yeah, Alex looks like he just shit a brick.
Yes, because this is a game where here's what it is. They have to hunt and kill Grace before dawn. If they don't, they believe that the curse of LaBelle will kill them.
Right.
So,
and this is the only card that's bad.
Yes.
Like every other card, they go through it like, oh, I drew chess. I did like Old Maid. So like they could have, any other game would have been fine. And she didn't even have to win the game. She just had to play it. And then boom, you're in the family.
Now, they didn't explain to her what hide and seek was.
No, of course not.
Not at all. So again, it's the one card that signals the ancient family pact. And this is what we saw in that flashback that opened the movie. Right. It was hide and seek where Charles gets killed, and Helene, that was his wife, you know. So it's pretty interesting. So from Grace's perspective, this is just, you know, a harmless little game. It's a little bit creepy. She has no freaking clue that she is being hunted.
No. And like, I love the setup to this, like, because the dad is very, like, he kind of pulls it all together. Like, he's just like, okay, sweetie, we're going to play hide and seek. You got to go hide. And then we're going to come and find you. And just very cavalier about it. Yeah. No big deal.
Right.
And so, yeah, they send her off. And then we see them loading up.
Yeah.
They're just like passing out.
All kinds of these really cool, like old weapons.
Yeah.
There's nothing modern.
Helene gets like this giant ass battle axe. There's like a little pistol that looks like it's from 1872.
Right.
Crossbows, bows and arrows.
All this stuff.
Yeah. Just very
really cool.
ancient weapons. Yeah. I do like that there's not like a AR or something. Like, I like that it's all old school stuff.
The other thing too, because Grace looks up and sees all the cameras in the room and she goes, well, I'm going to be at a huge disadvantage. And the dad's like, oh, no. We're going to turn off all the cameras, and which they do.
Yeah, they do.
And they lock all the doors. There's a little control room down in the basement. I mean, there's like, I don't know how many stories this mansion has, but there's a little control room. It's an electronic surveillance room. And so they shut all the cameras off and lock all the doors and windows and everything, so she cannot escape the actual structure.
And it's the reason they do that is because it's important for tradition, because cameras weren't around when the grandfather or whatever met LaVale. So they have to do it as if it was back in time or whatever.
And so Becky, Alex's mom, looks at him and is very compassionate and says, you know, you probably should just stay in the room and not be a part of this. But she has other motives.
Sit this one out, champ.
Yes, sit this one. She may seem sympathetic, but there's another reason. She doesn't trust him. I think she thinks that he's going to help her escape.
Right.
And so she wants one of the maids. There's 3 maids, and we'll get into them here pretty soon.
Oh, Lord.
Tells one of them to keep an eye on the door so he doesn't come out. He needs to stay in there and all that.
Yeah, she sends one of the other ones to, like, be with the little kids.
Because the 2 kids that belong to
Daniel and
Charity.
Daniel and Charity, they're little crotch goblins.
Oh my gosh.
I do like something about Charity where it's revealed it's either like now or maybe just a tiny bit in the future, where you learn why she's so gung-ho about this whole thing and how she has no reservations about killing people, because she tells him, she's like, you know where I came from. I had nothing, and I am not going back there.
Right.
So like even these little side characters, they really do flesh them out, and you see why they do the things they do.
Right.
Which I think is really cool, especially with such a big cast.
Well, and the writing on this film is incredible. I mean, they fleshed out all of these backstories very, very well. So the motivations everyone has, they're very clear.
Yeah.
And they make sense.
They do. Like, even though they're awful, awful people, you're like, I see why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, would I? Who's to say?
Who's to say, Michael?
I did actually ask myself that on the way here. I'm like, fuck, if I married in and I was in this situation where I had everything I could possibly want, but I had to maybe kill someone every 30 years, would I do it? I don't think I would.
Right.
I think I would be a good person.
I don't think I could do it either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then, I don't know. If I walked away, though, I think I would die, right?
You might.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's tricky.
Very much so. So the games begin now.
With a kick-ass song, too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they play this, like, old record player, and it's, like, this old-school, like, hide-and-seek song. It's a banger, though. And it's kind of a little bit creepy as well.
Yeah, yeah. So as she hides, like you said, the family is arming themselves with all these antique weapons. Helene is really taking it seriously.
Oh, she's
out
stoked.
of everybody, she's the one that's really, really doing this. And she's the one that says, basically explains that got to sacrifice Grace. Otherwise, Mr. LaBelle will get us. And Daniel and Alex don't really seem convinced of it. Everybody else pretty much kind of buys into it.
It's kind of weird though, because like Alex is, I guess he's seen LaVale, and he's the only member of the family who has.
Right.
Which is why, because like he's kind of like a little bit of a weaselly guy.
Yeah.
But Helene is very convinced he's going to be the best like leader of the family because he has supposedly seen LaVale.
Right.
It's
right.
It's so weird.
It is weird. Yeah. So she ends up in a bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Because she gets sick of sitting in the
dumbwaiter. Because that was her first stop.
Yeah, and no, you got to find somewhere a little bit more comfy.
Yeah, and so she gets out and ends up in this bedroom. And was it Alex that was in there with her? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Alex.
Because he brings her in there because he does escape because he goes through like there's wall passageways, so he's able to get out of the room without the maid seeing, and he goes and finds her and he brings her in, and he's about to kind of tell her what's going on. But he's kind of beat to the punch a little bit.
The maid number one, Clara, walks in and she's looking for one of the little boys.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking Emily, my God, this is so funny. She's convinced, she's down the hallway and she's convinced that she has found Grace, and she shoots and blows Grace away.
Yeah.
It shoots her in the head. Now, keep in mind, you're supposed to keep Grace alive. You're not supposed to kill anybody.
Like
Not
that comes later, but you're supposed to capture her.
Yes.
So the fact that she just blows this head off, plus Grace is in a goddamn wedding dress.
Yes.
Like, how did you mistake these individuals?
So the rest of the family comes running in, and that's what one of them said to her. Exactly. How do you make this mistake?
And she's just like, I'm trying my best.
So Alex and Grace are still in the room. They're on the other side of the bed. Nobody can see them.
Yeah.
Now Grace understands that this is real.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, they're literally hunting me.
Yep. It's full-blown survival mode now for
Yep.
Grace, and she's fleeing through the estate. She's barefoot. She's in her wedding gown still, which, she does end up tearing it off.
She tears off a little bit, and
Yeah.
she switches into Converse.
Yeah.
And the fun thing about these Converse is that the crew had to paint them that yellow color because Converse no longer made that color.
Right.
So they had to make her some custom shoes to achieve the right color palette, I guess.
Yeah. But she's wandering around quite a while in the long dress. I would have been probably out of that sooner just to be able to run a little bit faster and get away.
Right.
In the meantime, Alex, who is genuinely concerned, is now trying to disable the locks on all the doors.
Right, because she can't just leave. So he has to go. They split up. He's like, okay, you go. He tells her to go to maybe like the kitchen or something because it's by the front door.
Right.
And he's like, just don't let anyone see you. I'm going to go do this. And so they split up to achieve this goal.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's this really cool scene when she ends up in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And their butler, Stevens.
God, that fucker.
This guy, he's sitting there and he's into classical music, and he's fake conducting an orchestra, and he's got the music playing and he's doing all this stuff. And she's got a weapon now, and she's trying to cock the gun. But she's in the kitchen with him behind the island, and he's on the other side. And so she waits for the opportunity to make noise, like the tea kettle goes off.
Mm-hmm.
And so she cocks it, and he kind of looks around and then goes back into his music. And there's a few other things that happen too. So,
right.
Yeah.
And like while she's kind of doing this, it kind of shows some of the other family as well. And this just kills me because Emily, she is all about coke, loves her cocaine.
Yes.
And she's just doing rails off of it. And they do stumble upon Grace really quick in the hall. Mm-hmm. And Emily, fresh off her coke binge, tries to shoot her, and she can't
And
hit.
she's right in front of her.
She was able to snipe the maid from across the house, but can't hit Grace right in front of her. And they all say that too. Like, she was right there. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yep.
She's all spazzy. So yeah, that was right before Grace got to the kitchen.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the thing about these, this sick ass weapon setup that Grace has now with these giant bullets and this like sash of them and this giant hunting rifle, it's all for show.
Yep.
None of it works.
Right.
Because when she goes to shoot the butler, it's just blanks.
Nothing.
And he knows that too. He's just like, yeah, that's just a decoration. And so she picks up the decorative teapot and hits that fucker over the head with it.
With hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah, scalds the side of his face. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, and then she gets away temporarily there. Then we end up in another room, and this is this is one of my favorite kills. We're going to talk about maid number 2, Tina. So the family is in this room. Unfortunately, Emily's about to do another Emily move. Tina comes bursting in through the door just as her brother is handing her the big bolt that you know. And,
because Fitch can't figure out the stupid crossbow. He's whining about it the entire time. He's like, I can't do this thing.
So she takes it, and she doesn't have a good handle on it because as soon as she gets it, the bolt flies out and it kills Tina. She's walking in the door.
Right in her mouth, too. Just
right in the mouth.
Yeah, it is pretty funny, though.
Yeah, it is.
It's a ridiculously funny scene.
It's very funny. And then Aunt Helene starts to talk, and you hear this gurgling sound from the floor, and she stops, looks over. Gurgling stops. Then she starts to talk to the family again, more gurgling. So she takes this friggin' battle axe and decapitates her just to finish her off. And the rest of the family's disgusted.
They're horrified.
They are.
But she's got that bloodlust in her. She's got that dog. She's got to she loves killing. She's a fan of it.
She is.
We also get this moment with Daniel where he does run into Grace briefly as well. And they're kind of talking, and he's just like, look, I will give you a head start, but I'm going to, let everyone know where you are. Right. And this is just one of those moments where you kind of get to feel this feeling like Daniel is definitely not like the rest of his family. You don't know how much you can trust him yet, though, because you're like, he still clearly is on board to some degree.
Yeah.
But you do get these kind of cool little moments with him where you're like, I wonder what you're going to be at the end of this.
Yes.
Like, what are you going to be doing for Grace or for your family? You don't know yet. And I just love how they tiptoe that line with him really well in this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, what do we have next? We have Dora, the next maid, who, because now Grace goes back to the dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
And she wants to, I guess, hide in the dumbwaiter. She opens it up, and there's maid Dora sitting in there. And she's freaking out about what's going on. And Grace says, no, they're after me, not after you. So you can get out. And
well, I mean, the maids are dying left and right. So maybe.
Yeah, I would be hiding too.
Yeah.
So what does she do? She starts calling out for the family. She's here. She's here. So, and then she hits the down button on the dumbwaiter, and she's half in and half out.
Yeah.
This kill is pretty cool because she gets crushed and all of a sudden blood starts gushing out of her mouth. And before too long, she's just still. And that is that. That's Dora.
Yeah, they definitely didn't have like a safety kill switch on this dumbwaiter.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, there's no sensor that's like, oh, there's pressure here. Maybe stop it.
Right.
It's very powerful. Very well made.
It is. So Grace takes off. And at this point, I think Alex has disabled the security system.
Yeah, so they know he's now, because they see that, like, oh shit, fucking Alex.
Yeah.
So they end up handcuffing him to a bed and being like, you stay there.
But not before he destroys the console.
Oh yeah, no, it's all fucked
so
now.
You can't lock the doors again. That system is done. So she gets out and she makes it into the goat barn.
Oh God.
This is an interesting scene. So she actually falls into a pit.
Well, so first she's hiding and
she sees boys.
This fucking scene. She sees like a flashlight, so she hides, and one of the kids just walks by her. So she's like, "Oh, this is an innocent kid. I can like trust him." And she's like, "Hey," and this fucker pulls out a gun, and shoots her in the hand. She's now just have a giant ass hole in her hand, and I do love this part where she fucking punches this kid right in the face and knocks him out cold. She's got a Tyson right hand, just lays him out, and I loved that. I was just like, yeah.
It was great.
Knock that little bastard out. But then a goat shows up and scares her and causes her to then fall into this pit, which is
it's a pit.
It's a pit.
Pit of decomposing animal and human bodies.
Yep.
And also the skeletal remains of Charles.
Yeah, you do see Charles with
from
the bolts in him still. And they didn't even take those out. Helene clearly didn't love him.
No, not that much.
No, because and so this is clearly where they just, I guess, throw all their in-laws' bodies.
I guess. It's just the pit.
The pit.
Yeah.
And this, I hate this part.
So
it makes
is this the escape you're talking
when
about?
she's getting out of the
so
pit.
she's
Oh my God.
climbing out of the pit, and she finally gets near the top. She takes her hand to go grab the ground to pull her the rest of the way out, and it goes right through a rusty nail.
Yeah, and I think it's the hand that already has the hole, right?
I think it's already
just,
injured.
ugh.
It's just like, that was bad.
I can handle a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially in like movies. It's like, because I have that disconnect of it. It's not real. But this, for whatever reason, how this one's done, I don't like it.
No.
It makes me so icky feeling.
And the whole process of watching her, her process of getting out after that happens, it's a lot, and it takes time. So they've like stretched this out a little bit, and then finally she's able to get out.
She is so tough.
She is.
Like, I guess I probably would have just fallen back into the pit and died with the decomposing bodies. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
No thank
kidding.
you. That hurt.
So she escapes into the woods and flags down a car.
Well, tries to.
She gets in, and she tries to.
No,
and they
first
leave.
though,
then she
tries to flag this car down, and it just like rips by her, and she just yells after her.
Screams
She's
at
like,
him.
"You fucking dick licking fucking fucking shit fucker," and just like laces off this stream of obscenities that is just so funny. And like, I think she even says like, "You like rich asshole," like this movie really does a good job of just illustrating that, like, the class differentials and their attitudes towards people that are quote unquote below them.
Yes.
It's
So she ends up in another car.
She does.
It's one of the family members' cars, and it's a nice car. It's got the
car.
OnStar. It's got everything in it, and she takes off, and she calls OnStar to get help, and the family has remote control of OnStar, and
because they report it stolen.
They report it stolen, and so the OnStar guy, he's so funny. He's just so like.
Just matter of fact.
Yeah, matter of fact. I'm sorry, ma'am. I really can't help you. This car is reported stolen. We're going to have to deactivate it now. And she's screaming at him.
She's like, don't you fucking do that, Jerry. I think his name's like Jerry or something. And he goes like, well, swearing's not necessary.
Which sets her off even more.
Oh, yeah.
So he disables the car, and it comes to a stop. And she is recaptured by Stevens,
the fucking butler, dude.
This dude.
I hate him.
He is not a nice guy.
No, and he's also just like, I think he thinks he's a part of the family, even though he's just the help to them.
Right.
But he has this loyalty that I'm like, that is misplaced, sir. Because they would kill you at the drop of a hat if it benefited them.
This is really where we see Grace. This whole section of the movie, she's really kind of transforming from sweet Grace to fighter Grace. She's going to fight. So her character arc is it's
really cool.
Pretty cool.
Because, she just starts off as this genuinely just kind, sweet person, and then just turns into a fucking warrior.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And we keep moving forward, and Daniel, he's drunk. He's been drinking the entire night, and he actually hates his family's rituals, but he feels like he's just trapped, and there's nothing he can do. He starts, subtly helping Grace here and there, and giving her, like you said in that other scene, giving her time to run.
Yeah, because Grace ends up kicking the butler's face in, causing it to the car to crash, and then she ends up killing him. He dies in the crash, and she's escaping.
Yeah,
and Daniel comes out and meets her, and you have this moment where he's like, "Oh, he's fully gonna save her," and he doesn't. He doesn't. He like pistol whips her, knocks her out, and lets her get captured. But I love how they handle him. He's such a well-written character.
Absolutely. So Grace ends up back in the house now, and we get up to we get into a scene where Daniel is with her in the house, and he gets shot by Charity.
Yeah, because he's very like back and forth with it, because doesn't he end up, because she gets captured and they're going to do the satanic ritual on her.
Yeah.
And he ends up beforehand poisoning the sacrificial drink that they all drink, because they all pass it around. And then they start to just puke blood everywhere. And Helene's just like, we've been poisoned.
I think that would have killed him, but it didn't.
Well, it didn't, because he mentions that to Grace. He's like, So they're going to be fine. They're going to shit for about a week, but they will be fine. I measured it really, really carefully.
Oh my gosh.
So that he's bringing her out to set her free. And that's when, he runs into Charity. And Charity's, again, we know she came from nothing. She's
Yes.
not willing to let this lifestyle go.
Yeah.
So she fucking shoots her husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's how committed she is.
In the neck.
Shoots him in the neck.
He doesn't die right away, but he does die, making it kill number 6.
And this was like a legitimately sad death for me because
Yeah.
I just think the layers of Daniel was just so endearing, kind of. I don't know. I really liked him.
Yeah.
He's the only member of the family I liked.
Yes, I
But,
agree.
Yeah, so his death was really quite sad, and then she does end up coming across Becky, the mom.
God.
And they get into a fight, and Grace ends up getting on top of her, and you know that little box, LaVale's box?
Yes.
She uses that to pummel old Becky
Pulverize.
to death.
Oh my gosh, this was a brutal kill.
Yeah, no, she keeps swinging.
Yeah.
She does not stop.
Yeah.
And this was actually one of the first things that they shot. It was on the first day of shooting, and Samara Weaving accidentally really nailed her with the prop of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Oh, no.
welcome to shooting.
Yeah.
But did you know Samara Weaving's Hugo Weaving's niece?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
until the drive over here. I was just kind of listening to facts about it, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Elrond?
I had read that. I think a while back. I knew that she was the niece, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. And when she's on top of her beating the mom to death, that is when Alex stumbles upon the scene now and sees Grace all covered in blood,
Yeah.
just getting off his now pummeled to death mother.
Yep.
And then I fucking hate this guy. This is
Right?
where he's fully revealed to
Yeah.
be a slime ball, because he goes up to her and he's like, "You're gonna leave me after this, aren't you?" And she doesn't answer, but she answers with her eyes. And so
Yeah.
he grabs her and now alerts the family and brings her back to the sacrificial room to finish the deed.
Yep. And so, she's restrained and she's just there, and family gathers round, and
And they give the knife to Alex. Alex
Yeah.
is now gonna kill her.
Yeah. And they begin this demonic chant, and the ceremonial dagger is raised, but
Grace is able to move enough as he's swinging it down to
Yep.
where it doesn't get her heart. It just grabs her, snags her in the shoulder.
Right.
And this is where Samara Weaving gives one of the best on-screen screams that I have ever heard. She wails like a banshee, and she gets out from under him. She grabs the knife, and now she's holding the whole family at knife point with the sacrificial knife, and she's able to actually wind down the clock.
Yeah.
Because sun starts streaming in. She's made it to dawn, and nothing's happening quite yet, though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not quite yet. That's the fun part about this movie, because now we get into the final scene where we have Grace with everybody. They're all in the same room, and dawn is coming. The sun's coming up, and they're having this conversation, and they're scrambling. I mean, they really were scrambling to get this done. They have to have it done before dawn. And
They didn't.
Grace ends up fighting off Stevens the butler at one point, and she hits him with a lantern, which she tosses and starts a fire downstairs. And
Yeah, they don't even stop to put the fire out. They're
No.
they move right into trying to kill her.
Yeah, they do. So they're just standing around talking, and dawn hits, sunlight comes through, and they're all shielding their eyes and their face, like something's going to happen. And after a few moments, nothing has happened.
And Fick then just says I knew this was fucking bullshit.
Yep.
This is all fucking bullshit.
Yep. And so they're kind of laughing about it, and all of a sudden,
Well, Helene
is about to kill
'cause
her.
she's like, well, she's still got to die.
Yeah,
She's like, I still wanted to kill someone tonight, so
So she's got that battle axe, and as she approaches, she explodes.
just explodes like a pimple.
It's amazing. And then right after that, Fitch,
Poor Fitch.
poor Fitch, he explodes. Charity is next. She explodes. Then we have Emily, and we have Georgie, her son, and Gabe, her other son. The three of them run from the room, and then you hear 3 explosions and three
blood splatters go
coming
back
through
into the
door.
room. Yeah, so children explode in this movie.
And then, yes, they do, but you don't see it, actually. Yeah.
Well, we had to keep it classy.
Yeah, we did. We did. And then the father, the patriarch of the family, Tony, he's next, but not before he starts screaming and yelling at, LaBelle, saying, I did everything I was supposed to do. I'm the one that's in control.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
He blows up. And that just leaves Alex. And this is one of those, for me, what the fuck moments, because after everything that has happened in this movie, Alex now pleads with Grace to stay with him. Right after he handed her over to be sacrificed.
Yeah.
He is begging her to stay with him. And, her reaction, it's just like, she's like thinking, read the room, bro. It's
right, yeah.
right? And then he blows up. So
Yeah.
he explodes. So she's just standing there. And then we get a very cool scene. It's very quick. You might have missed it if you didn't see it in the movie, but you actually see a quick flash of LaBelle sitting in the chair next to the fireplace. Just a real quick, he's there and then he's not.
Yep.
And he nods at her.
Yeah.
Like, nicely done.
Good work, kid.
Yeah.
Good work.
So he disappears and she walks outside. By this time, the entire mansion is fully engulfed.
Yeah.
She's walking down the stairs in the front of the house, the mansion, and there's fire shooting out of the windows, and it's just, and by this time, first responders are coming on scene.
Right.
You hear the sirens, and you see police and firefighters, and one of the responders, as she's sitting there
Smoking a cig
on these concrete stairs leading up to the house, he says, "What happened?" And she simply says, "In-laws."
In-laws, man.
Yeah.
I love Grace in this movie. I love Samara Weaving's performance. I think it's great. And right after everyone explodes, as she's just covered in their blood, she just starts to laugh too, which was
that was great.
Yeah, and it was just like an ad lib thing.
Samara, really?
Yeah, Samara was just like, I think it'd be funny if she just starts laughing here, and I think it was a great touch.
I think after everything she had been through in this movie, that's her release. Of course,
she
you're going to
deserves a laugh.
Yes,
after that shit.
Jeez. Well, I'll tell you, this was a great kill. 15 official kills in the movie, by the way. My favorite character, it's tough. I think it's between Fitch and Emily for me. I'm probably leaning more towards Emily just because of her bumbling kills and she's just so coked up and so out of it. She's probably my favorite.
She's a great character. And yeah, this one's a tough one because there are so many great characters.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go basic though. I'm going to go Grace just because what a fantastic final girl.
Oh yeah.
And I just love her journey in this movie. I think her arc is just really well done and just enjoyable to watch. And she's just an absolute delight. I love Samara Weaving.
She's great.
I think Grace is my favorite. If I did have an honorable mention, though, I do want to just say Daniel. I really, really liked Daniel.
See, you're going for the morally righteous sort of characters in this one. Yeah.
I guess I am. I don't know. I have a hard time with like these. So this is one of my favorite subgenres because like the more I think about it, I haven't seen a bad eat the rich subgenre horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was trying to think about it. I'm like, there's The Menu, there's Death of a Unicorn, there's this, there's what's it called? There's that other one where it's kind of similar to this with the family with You're Next.
You're Next.
Yeah, and then there's like this old school in Society, and they're all so good. So I love this subgenre. I think it's such a fun one. Yeah. And with it though, I'm like, I really hate these like matriarchal like old money families though. So like it's hard for me to really like these characters even though they are super funny.
Sure.
It's just something I struggle with. But Daniel, he's my honorable mention.
My favorite kill is Dora the maid because it was so unexpected and it's tied to Emily and she just releases that bolt inadvertently and boom, down goes Dora the maid.
I think that's mine as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the ending, you could almost just like label it as one kill just because they all just explode so quickly.
Sure.
That one's great and just a fantastic way to end the movie. But I think just if I have to just look at one little kill, I'm gonna agree with you. Dora. Poor Dora.
Yeah. Well, my favorite scene is that final scene. That is definitely where everybody's blowing up. I just thought that was so good. All the blood splatter and the fact that Grace is just standing there covered in blood and tissue. And I mean,
all the ooey gooeys.
All the gooeys. Yeah. I just thought that was fantastic. It was, kind of like for me when we did From Dusk Till Dawn, the disco ball at the end of the thing that wiped out the rest of those vampires. This one, I just thought it was great when they all just went off like that.
Yeah, no, I love I love pimple popping videos, and this is very similar to those. So yeah, it's my favorite scene as well.
Well, it gets 5 stars.
Yeah, I think I either gave it 4.5 or 5. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, just remedy that immediately. Go check it out.
Definitely. It is Ready or Not from 2019. The sequel, Ready or Not, Here I Come, is in production right now. No release date. I would assume it's going to be 2026. I don't think they would release it this year.
I don't think they'd have the time.
I don't think they would either. So, this could become a very cool franchise if they do it right with the sequel.
I think with a sequel, I'm like, well, you got to at least make it a trilogy.
Yeah.
So I hope there's at least another one after this, too.
I hope so, too. Coming up, it is your scare preview.
Welcome to Jaunty Haunts, the podcast about all things supernatural. After 30 years of keeping a secret, I'm finally ready to share with the world that I see ghosts. This podcast is all about getting spooky and connecting with others who might also sense, see, or feel things beyond the ordinary. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, let's connect, share, and maybe feel a little less crazy together.
You can listen to and binge Jaunty Haunts right now on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you podcast. Stay spooky, ghoul friends.
All right, it is the scare preview segment. Michael and I each have a film that we are looking forward to. What is yours?
So mine is one that is coming out in just a little bit. It comes out April 29th, so really, really soon. It's a found footage, but it's also a slasher movie. So it's a found footage slasher. It's called The Last Cabin, and the little blurb about it is: trapped in a remote cabin, a film crew finds themselves stalked by 3 masked men who know the isolated forest and their every move. And the masks in this thing, very, very nightmare fuel. Just creepy.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So I think what a cool little mix, mashup, slasher and a found footage. Like, I'm curious. So Last Cabin, that comes out just in a couple days.
I love those type of movies that are set out in the forest in the middle of nowhere like that in nature. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that isolation, when you throw that together, it's very creepy.
Definitely. Black Phone 2 is coming out October 17th of this year. Of course, the sequel to Black Phone 1, which makes sense, right? A horror film directed by Scott Derrickson, who co-wrote the screenplay with C. Robert Cargill. Both are going to return as producers alongside Jason Blum. A sequel to the 2021 film itself, which was based on Joe Hill's 2004 short story. Joe Hill, his birth name, Joe King, son of Stephen King.
Yep.
And the new film sees the return of Mason Thames, Madeline McGraw, Jeremy Davis, and Ethan Hawke. And Universal will release Black Phone 2 in the U.S. again October 17th.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know what they're going to do with this one. I'm curious how they make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll find out October 17th.
We'll see.
Definitely. Well, that wraps it up for us here on Opening Kill, episode 22.
Ooh.
I want to thank all of our new listeners who joined us over the past week. Keep that coming.
Yeah.
You can like and subscribe. Tell your friends and family about us. We are everywhere.
We are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're even on YouTube. Yeah, you can binge all of the Opening Kills episodes so far right there on YouTube if that's where you want to do it.
Sweet.
Check it out. Yeah, and also if you want to email us, you can let us know maybe there's a movie you desperately want us to cover.
Yeah.
Shoot us over an email, openingkillpod@gmail.com.
That is awesome. All right, that wraps it up for us. We'll be back next week with... We started this trilogy a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Halloween. We're going to do Halloween Kills next week.
There we go.
A friend of mine, Aliska Hahn, who has been in some films. She was in it, and they filmed literally in her neighborhood.
So cool.
The park scenes were like just down the street from her, which, and she was in it too. She was an extra. So hopefully we'll talk to her. I don't know yet. She's trying to work it out. So
That'd be cool if we can do that, though.
Yeah, definitely. So we will talk to you next week with Halloween Kills.
The Opening Kill podcast is hosted by Michael Duran and Brian O'Connor. It's produced by Mystic Cloud Productions. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram too. Join us next Thursday for a brand new episode.